Hey everybody, Superfluous J here with another Factorio for Beginners. And last episode I failed to math. This episode I'm going to math correctly. Mostly because I just did the work on paper outside of the thing. What it is here's how it is. One belt transports 15 items per second. One stone furnace has a crafting speed of 1, and we've determined that iron plates are made in 3.2 seconds. So if you take 3.2 and multiply it by 7.5, you get 24. So that means one belt here, one half belt, will do 24 of these. We'll fill 24 of these. Now, obviously, we don't have 24 yet because we're not sending a full belt down. But when we do, that's the number that it will take. So I'm actually going to set it up right now to do that. And one nice way to do it is if you highlight this, it's actually 48 because it's two-sided. If you highlight this, you see we have 32. So we need 16 more. Is that correct? Yes, we need 16 more. So that means we need 8 more total. Which means, first of all, I'm going to fix this because it's driving me crazy. Sorry. I like to have my inserters look nice, and considering I'm probably going to use this as the template all game. Yeah, the problem is that I started these guys wrong. Even though it means I'm going to need an extra one of those, I think we're just gonna do that. And yeah, I better fix it everywhere. Sorry while I do this part, the boring part of the game here. And I can just clear these because when the time comes, we'll be pasting them back down anyway. And these are the only ones that are wrong over here. Oh, here's another thing. You can hold down Shift. Whoops, I put that guy in the wrong direction. You can hold down Shift when you're within range of something, and it will paste a ghost even if you have the item in your inventory. That's very convenient if you don't want to actually put the items down. Like right now, I don't want to put these down. I just want the ghosts so that I remember to do it later. So there's that. Okay. So now we need 8 more of these. So guess what we need to do? We need to stretch everything down a little bit farther, which means we're gonna have to chop these trees down. And here's something. Here's a reason to use the shotgun. Here's now weapons. You can hit tab and it cycles between the weapons you have. The machine gun, you can shoot trees with it, which is nice. But with the shotgun, it does more damage, and if you stand back a little bit, it kind of spreads itself out so that it destroys them faster, which is nice. That's just it's a little bit of a tip for you there for you as you go on. Okay, so anyway, we want 8 more of these. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, actually, we want 16 total, so I can just look at the summary up here. That's 14, 15, 16. So there's my 16. What I'm looking for is in the upper left-hand corner of my grabby box. It says I have 16 furnaces. So we can do that, and then I can place them like this. I'm holding down Shift. If I try to place it, like if I try to place it here, it says trees in the way, trees in the way, trees in the way. If I hold down Shift, that places it anyway, and it puts all the destruction orders in there. Then I can hit Control Z. Oh, that's funny. The destruction orders stay. Oh, well. I thought it would take them away, but apparently it did not. So we'll just place it down. But now I can see all the trees that I want to get rid of. So if I, yeah, and you can hit the space bar to just do it. Let's, this way I don't have to chop these things down. Although, frankly, it's probably easier to chop them down. There we go. And that's all of them. So let's go ahead and get this going again. And now we know for a fact that this is the absolute bottom of what we're ever going to want to do. Yeah, I think I'm just going to chop these things. I think it's faster to chop them. but that is an option open to you. Which one of these is iron? The top one is iron, or this one is iron. And I'm out of belts. Definitely need more belts here. But anyway, that's where the math comes in. It's simple multiplication. I just couldn't do it in my head. That's all. Today, on the lineup today, we have we're going to set up more miners, and then we're going to start what's going to somehow this tree is perfectly fine, not in the way of anything. Yeah, the collision boxes can be amusing sometimes. But anyway, yeah, today we're going to set up more mining, and we're going to start thinking about what's going to end up being our main base. Is that correct? No, it is not. Because this mall here that I've got running up here, this is not going to be the main base. This is here specifically to get me items so that I don't have to make them myself. That's the whole purpose of the mall up here. Is I don't want to have to handcraft all these belts and all these splitters and all these inserters and all these factories and everything, assemblers I should say. I'm going to actually take them so I have enough in my hand for when I make the actual base, which is going to be down here and quite distant. it's going to be pretty big, but before that, I need to start setting up more smelting. Ideally, I want a full belt of this iron ore coming out. I probably want a full belt of the copper ore, even though I don't really need it at the moment. But for that, I'm going to need a lot of miners, and I'm going to need a lot of belts. So we're going to head over here, and we're going to set up mining on the main bus here. So we can actually put these guys together and do the same thing we did with the smelters down here, where we have two in a row and then one. As long as you don't need to pass things between them, we can save a little space that way. I could have done that before, and I planned on it, but I just forgot, and I'm not going to fix it now. But anyway, electric mining drills have a very similar needs list to factories, and in fact it's exactly the same. So we can do that, and we can put a box there, and we can limit that, or I think we're limited to 2 stacks. And now, anytime enough electronic circuits get down there, he's going to start making those. We obviously also need more copper. This copper's sitting here; it's not being produced fast enough. So we're going to need more of these, and I think I'm just going to make all 12 of them because we're going to need a lot. So we can just do this, and these will instantly start going, because they're already ready to go, and I think that's enough for now. I don't want to overdo copper at the moment. I would rather spend my time doing other things. In particular, it looks like we have cleared off this line up here, which is nice. And as long as the coal here is backed up on this belt, I'm not gonna add more. I'm not going to add more of these, but if we ever get to the point where we need more, it's going to be there. And I think I'm going to take all this. We also are having a problem, actually. This is something I wanted to do sooner rather than later. I didn't really have a time planned for it, but we're going to want to smelt stone. So we're going to need to mine stone, or we're going to need to send stone over to one of these arrays, and we're going to need to smelt it, because I want to make brick, and I want to make a lot of brick, because you can lay brick down as a floor, and it helps you run faster. So I think I'm going to actually do that right now. I think I'm going to come up here. Do we have any miners? We do. I always try to grab them. I don't really want to talk about mods too much in this game, but what does he need? He needs gears. I have 13 of them. There you go. There's some gears for you. You can make some miners with those gears. Yeah, I mean, he's being starved for production. It's just a fact of life when you have a factory like this sort of thing. I think I'm actually going to get this started, even though I kind of wanted to start on other things. But that's the way the game works, right? you always end up wanting to do something, and then you end up doing something else because something always gets in the way. Part of the fun of Factorio is the fact that something always gets in the way. So I didn't want that. I want that. And I guess we can start right here, and we can come out probably to here. Yeah, it looks like that's the end of the patch. And we'll just do that for now. And we'll have belts coming here, and I think we want to come down around this guy this way. So let's do that. Doesn't really matter exactly where we go. If you run on a belt, see how I'm going faster right now? If I run like this, I'm not going very fast. If I run like this, see, watch the speed change. So that's a trick. That's a hot tip for you. And I actually want this to kind of come up a little bit because I want to come through here. There we go. Should probably connect that to this. I just talked about how running on a belt is faster, and then I sat here running next to a belt, but what are you going to do? Oops. And we'll bring this over this way into this smelting array here, which of course we're going to have to make. But I think before I do that, because we don't actually have this stuff being powered yet, let's run, I guess we'll run it from, doesn't really matter where, we'll run it from here. And this can be ugly. I don't really care what it looks like. As long as it works. And we'll run it right there. Now he's at least generating some stone. Of course that means we're gonna want a turret out here. So I should probably make one, which I can't because I don't have gears. You always want something in this game. I think I'm just going to take off this belt here. That's fine. There's a turret. There are no shotgun turrets in the game. It's another reason why I prefer the other gun, because the same bullets being used in the same things is nice. You don't have to worry about extra bullets. I think I'll just put these 25 bullets in there that I had left over from before. That means also that this turret is probably less useful, because if they do come through here, they'll probably run by this turret, but I'm going to leave it. It doesn't really hurt to be there. We need some more stone furnaces. I think 2 will be fine. Really, 8 stone furnaces to smelt stone right now is probably 6 more than I really need. But we'll do it. I think groups of 8 kind of build for the future is perfectly fine. I'm just, as I said before, I'm following the pattern that I set up before to get stone on one side and coal on the other side. This is going to go down. Going to run these. I'm going to hit Q. Oh, are we out of poles? We are out of electric poles. Well, luckily we can make more. Just make a ton of them. You can almost never have too many electric poles in this game. There we go. And right now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a box here, and that guy, and he's just gonna put those in a box for me. Looks like we might need 2 of them, which is fine. And we also probably, you know what? I don't want to limit the box. I think limiting the box would be dumb. We want to make as much stone as possible, because we're gonna be laying a lot of stone floors. This whole thing's gonna be paved eventually when the time comes. Okay, let's see how we're doing with miners again. Looks like we got a few in here. We have 3, an entire 3. Can we make 4? We could if we had electronic circuits. So let's just do that to make 4. Help the machines along. Obviously, what we're hurting on is gears. I could fairly easily make another gear thing, and I think I'm going to. I think I'm gonna cheat a little bit. All I'm doing here is it doesn't matter which side of the belt they go on, because eventually they're gonna wrap around and be forced on this side of the belt. So I'm making gears over here, and you can hold down Shift and right click a machine. I just right clicked this, and then left click another machine while you're still holding down Shift, and it'll copy and paste. I could make it be wires. I can make it be circuits, I can make it be gears. Doesn't really matter. And then all I need to do here is put this guy here, and now we're making twice as many gears. I could probably even go so far as to do something stupid like this, and right click, left click. Let's go ahead and get another underground belt going. And do something like that. Now we've got quadruple the gears. Considering that's what we're low on, and it's halting production of other things, I think it's worth putting the extra time, effort, and work into that. Okay, we need more of you guys, and we need to set this up better than we have in the recent past here, because we need this underground belt thing. We need underground belt and then an above ground belt here. And then we want to do this and that. That's the pattern we want to do. Whoops, and we want this to be here, and I guess we want another one here in order to get that. Now we've doubled the amount of copper ore being produced, which is nice. Well, we haven't doubled the amount of copper ore being produced because we didn't do that, so let's get that done. We also want a lot more iron ore, and this guy is out of iron ore, so we're running behind on one side of the belt, which isn't a huge deal, but it can be problematic. Just get those guys going like that. Also, I've got a ton of stone. I want to make furnaces out of it, so I don't want to get rid of all of it. But I can throw some in these guys just to get them going. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and notice four miners here is putting a little bit more copper than we can actually smelt. It's slowly building up on this thing. Like it's about the same actually. Now that I think about it, if I remember correctly, these guys mine. Does it actually say? Yeah, it does half of one per second, so it takes 2 seconds to make a thing. And I already said I don't want to do math while I'm doing my recording here, so I'm not going to figure it out. But yeah, it's actually not backed up. It's perfectly fine. So it is somewhere close to 2, like two of these smelters per one of these miners, but I know it's not exact. But anyway, as long as things aren't backed up, I'm not too worried about it at the moment. Speaking of backed up, this is backed up because I threw a bunch of stone in here. Not a big deal. This thing will fill up eventually. But I can show you how to pave things. We're doing a lot of running back and forth around in this area. So what I want to do is I've picked up the stone, and notice it shows me the ground having stone on it. If I hit the plus key on the numpad, and I think, let me try it here. No, it doesn't work on the keyboard. You have to hit the plus key on the numpad. I can make a 100 or 10 by 10 block here, which is 100 stone, and I only have 136, so that used up all my stone. That's why I want to have a bunch of it. If I take all the stone out of here, if I get close enough to take all the stone out of here, I just realized I started talking about mods and then I never finished it. I use a mod called Long Reach in my regular play, and that means I can grab things out of a box like this. I can't do that here. That's why a lot of times I you hear that, you see me do that, because I'm used to having long reach. This is an unmodded series. I want to teach you the game, not the mods, so that's why I'm not using any mods. Okay, what do we got going on? How are we on power? We're fine on power. We got plenty of coal. We got stone coming down. We really want to keep upping the mining. And hopefully this addition of gears here has allowed us to get the miners being produced, and it looks like it does. We still don't have an excess of gears, but we do have 20 miners now, which is awesome. See how much faster I'm running now that I'm on the concrete, or not concrete, the stone floor. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start really pumping the miners into this area here. Okay, there's no more resources out this way. And there are resources here. And would this show me? Yes, it would show me if there were resources here, but there aren't. So I'm going to leave the thing here. And we need to put underground belts, and I'm just going to keep up the pattern. just so these guys, so they're all the same. Now that's getting close to a full belt of iron ore, which is nice. Sadly, there's more on one side than the other, but there's not much you can do about that. One thing we can do about it, though, is we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can set up 5 of these guys. Now I want the underground pattern to be the same. Yeah, it does matter, so I'm going to just put it here. And then, is this going to be in the way of these guys? No, he's not. Okay, sweet. So I can send this guy up this way, and then send him down this way. And here's another trick with splitters. We can make a input priority or an output priority. You saw the input or the output priority to make sure something goes out on a lane. That was with the coal. I said I want it to go out on this lane first. I don't want anything to go out on this lane ever, because this lane is a dead end. So what I can do is I can say make it the right lane, and then I can filter it with something that never is going to go on this thing. And the one I like is fish. So if we do this, then fish will go out on this lane, and anything else that comes down the line, which of course is going to be iron ore, goes out that lane. So that way it's called the fish filter, and I'm a fan of it. It lets you specify exactly what you want to go, or not exactly which one. It allows you to never send anything out this line, no matter what you're sending this way. It's a nice convenient way to get that done. We still don't quite have a full belt, so I'm going to need more miners on iron. Oops, those aren't the right miners. Those are the miners. Let's go ahead and do let's do like 4 more. And I'm putting them here just to keep things straight in my brain, so that I have exactly the same number on both sides. It's really not that important generally, but for now I want to make sure that I have exactly the same amount on each side of the line, just to see when I fill that line up. Also, I always want to be aware of power. Yes, and we're having trouble with power again, because miners take up a lot of power. They really suck power down. So we have 2 boilers and 4 steam engines. We're going to want now to double that, and I'm actually going to double it a little bit more, because I'm going to go up to 5 instead of 4, because we're going to eventually want 20 of these. So it's good if I get on 5, then I can go 10 and then 20 to double. This is the one time I don't double is when I'm cutting the edge of something here. So we're going to need 3 boilers, which we can make. We're going to need 6 steam engines, which we can't make, and we need a lot of iron plates for that. Well, luckily we're making a lot of iron plates right now, because we are just sucking them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 1 more. We need a little bit more iron. Just pull this off. There's that. Then we're going to need some pipe. Maybe 2. And we have, do we have any? We don't have, oh, we have 1. We're going to need 3 total of these. And I think that'll do it. Yeah, I think that'll do it. So let's go. Let's extend this line down. Now this guy can be right next to him. Remember before we couldn't have them next to each other because there's a power pole, but you can actually, much like the other things we do, you can spread them out so that they just have the power pole every other line instead of wasting space. And I just blocked myself in. That's an amusing problem you can have. And then we can add a power pole here. And then all we need to do now is plop these guys down, and we just more than doubled our power, so that's good. Because you want to do all your testing and all your making sure of things when you have full power, because when miners don't have as much power as maximum, they mine slower, which makes sense. And when they mine slower, you don't get an accurate view of how full this belt is. Now that I do have an accurate view, it looks like I still need more miners, so I think I'm going to plop down 4 more. And we'll do the underground trick here. Plop a power pole and let them go, and we'll see how that looks. Oh, another thing, we're actually getting backed up because I never finished this, which is amusing. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 16 stone furnaces. 5, 10, 15, 16 stone furnaces. We're also going to need the power poles. We're also going to need, actually the furnaces are ready, so let's go ahead and just plop those down. Because I placed the power poles, I can drag. And then we're going to need some belts to get these down here. And finally, some of these. So now when we do have a full belt, we'll be able to smelt it all. Except for I ran out of arms. Luckily though, we're making them up here. Be really nice if I could run on concrete all the way up there, but where's my arms? There they are. Let's just grab all 100 of them. And we can use the belts to come down faster, which is nice. Okay. Why do you... Oh, you don't... There we go. I missed him. Now, one thing is it can be hard sometimes to see which ones of these are ghosts and which ones aren't, so I'm just trying to place on all of these just to make sure I have them all. And it looks like I do. As long as they're all smelting, I think we're good. Yeah. Yeah, these are all. Oops, these are all placed. So now we have, and we also have backed up iron now, which is nice. So I think I'm happy with that amount of iron. It's kind of backing up on because it's not being smelted fast enough, but the line looks pretty backed up now. I think I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm gonna actually hit Control C. Oops, I hit caps lock. Control C. And copy these and just see how many miners it is. That is 30 miners. So 30 miners seems to have filled up the belt. So let's go ahead and do that here. That means we have 4. That means we need 26 total more miners to get a full belt of these. And we have 43 already, which is awesome. We have 24. And then you can right-click in your inventory and it'll just drop 1. So now we've dropped 26. So now I know I have exactly the right amount. And look at that, I'm running log. So after we do this, I'm going to bid you adieu. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we got 10 more to do. I guess we'll start over here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I think just 6. We're doing the get them on the same side trick. And this is going to be interesting here. This is one of the reasons why you want to leave a gap, which I failed to do, which is a little annoying. Okay, also I want to get on this side of these guys so that I have room here. Now what I want to do is go underground here, and above ground here, underground here, above ground here, underground here, above ground here, underground here, to go over there. And yes, it stretches, which is nice. Then I want power poles all the way across, and I can't get anywhere now. So let's run around this way. And then the undergrounds are here, so we're going to start... Actually, we'll start here. Underground, above ground, underground, above ground, underground, above ground, underground, and then we'll figure it out. So let's get these guys going, and get power. And I guess we'll put a power pole here and here. Okay, what can we do here? This is going to be a little crazy. Okay, I see what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is not have enough underground belts. Luckily, we're making them. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up a new underground thing here. Anybody who hates spaghetti, I apologize, but I'm totally doing this. Ah, the game saved on me. I'm going to do that trick where I filter left, only fish go out. That way this side never gets used. And I've got some copper ore, and I've got some iron ore. Just throw them in a couple furnaces there. And now I want to extend this all the way down. But we're going to do that next time. Next time we're going to extend this all the way down so that we have a full line of iron being smelted and a full line of copper being smelted. We're also going to make a whole bunch of stone and pave this entire area so that I can run down it a little bit faster. And then we're going to start thinking about the factory proper. We're gonna start thinking about the main bus and the actual factory and doing science down here, and it's going to be crazy. And I see more biters down here. We got a base down here, and this base has actually got pollution on it, which is scary. This base is big, which is also scary. We don't know the actual size of this base, which, have I mentioned, is scary. One thing I can do is I can throw a radar down here somewhere. I guess I'll put it right here for now, just to kind of get a better view of the area, because it's getting a little scary, and we definitely need to take these guys out. We'll probably take care of that next time. But anyway, I'm running long. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. The factory is coming along. If you have any questions, obviously ask them. I'm Superfluous J, and I will, as always, talk at you later.